Got it. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm trying out a new technology really quick to see if I can. Sweet. Okay. Welcome to day 3 of Reclamation. The reclamation of your divine power. How are we feeling? Caitlin! Hi, Stephanie. When you guys are here, pop on, say hello. I'm letting the other technologies add up with this. I think today is going to be a day that everybody's really happy and excited to have a conversation about. This is my infinite guess. Because today's work is what to do when you're in a situation, you finally told yourself the truth, and you actually tell yourself the truth. You look at the thing, you're standing there raw and naked in the situation that you find yourself in, and you're actually literally allowing yourself to see it and call it out for what it is. Tell yourself the truth about you, tell yourself the truth about the circumstance, tell yourself the truth about the other people in your life, the world, whatever it is for you, like your deepest, honest truth about what is actually happening, not making up stories about anyone else, facts, not feelings, right? Telling the truth. And then you're like, crap, I don't know what to do about this. I literally have no idea what to do about this. Like, the whole reason I avoided telling myself the truth about this was because I don't know how to fix it and it feels impossible. And do you know what depression is? Depression is when we feel like there's something that really is crossing a boundary, or it's upsetting us, or it feels hard or bad, and we feel like we don't know how to change it. That's what it is. And so that's what we're going to dive into today. And I'm going to tell you literally exactly how I do that. That's why I'm able to face things with such like raw unapologeticness, because I feel like I know what to do. And so obviously I can only go so far with this because I don't have, time with you privately as a client or answering your questions like in the membership, but I'm going to give you everything I've got in this. Okay. I'm going to hand over everything that I've learned, everything that I know. Welcome. Hi, Andy. Hi, Erica. Okay. Who has been here for all the days so far? We're only on day 3. Doesn't it feel like life is already changing? Like it'll never be the same. Like it's already never going to be the same. And we're not even a third of the way done. Doesn't that feel good? Oh, there's so much transformation happening right now and so much inner work. It's like that real deep stuff on the inside. So again, thank you so, so much for those of you who are sharing and tagging friends. This is free. There's no catch. There's no nothing. It's safe to to share this. They're not going to get spammed or anything like that. So you can share this. Also, there's been a lot of questions. Okay, let me just address a couple of the questions before we dive into this magic. I'm so happy that you loved it. Alice has been here all the days. 1, I've never had 2 pages before, and now I do. So there's my Facebook personal page, which is at Ms. Mandy Perry, MS. And the banner on the background of that page says that we've moved over to this page. And that's the business page, which is at Mandy Perry Inc. So unfortunately, I didn't see this one coming because it's the first time I've ever had 2 pages, and a whole bunch of people couldn't find the videos. And we got tons and tons of messages of people looking for these videos. So you go in the search bar and you type at Mandy Perry INC, and that will take you to my business page. You're going to want to follow the business page. And then you can also make it a favorite so that you get notifications. Also, the 3 dots at the top of the video, any of the videos, you can save those, and you can create a little folder that says Reclamation or Mandy Perry, and then you can save the whole course in there and go back to it anytime you want to. Also, I'm just choosing the order that I want to go into. Okay. Also, inside of Lemillion, which is the membership, all of these are organized and housed in there. So I was getting questions on where is this organized? Where is that put? So it's here live free. The organization parts that's in the paid memberships, but everything is here. You can save it as you go. It's here on my personal page. You can go to the video, on my business page, you can go to the videos section and it'll show you all the videos. So for some people, this might be a moment to just learn how to use Facebook. Like just navigate it a little bit, learn how to use it a little bit. and that's fine. That's just how we learn, right? And then you learn one technology platform and the next one feels a little bit easier. What else did I get questions on? I feel like there was one more important thing. Okay, I feel like there was, but it'll come to me if I need it. Oh, sharing. So the people are asking how do they share it? So the ways to share it is there's a little arrow button. You just click that and you can share it to your the whole video to your personal page, or you can tag people below. You just hit @ and you put in their name. And then when their name comes above, you click it and it'll blue highlight. That's how you know you've tagged them. And, or when you click share, you can actually scroll over and there'll be a link button that gives you a copy. You can copy the actual URL and share the URL with people as well. So, and, or you can just share my link to my business page at Mandy Perry Inc. Okay. Technology base is covered. Hopefully that covers all of the questions that were coming in. And we've got a ways to go. And it's all just going to be magic and support for you. So if you're the kind of person who feels like you're getting behind or you should be doing something different, you shouldn't. You're perfect. Maybe we can tune in here, not get distracted by things, not check our phone, and actually just be present here. It's not going to be a full hour today. I think it's going to be a little bit shorter than that. And it's just going to be a real big needle mover. Okay. Okay. Who's here? Say hi when you pop on, #replay or #magic if you're on the replay. I do read all the comments when you're on the replay. So I love to see where everyone's at, what's going on. I get back to as many people as possible. And yeah, thank you for commenting and hitting the heart button a lot and building this page with me. You guys are the original group, the OGs of building my business page, the brand new page. So thank you for being here and doing that with me. Okay, so the question is, what do I do when I'm in a situation and I have to look, I'm looking at it, I'm telling the truth, and I don't know what to do? So I did the work you told me to do, Mandy. You're not going to leave me hanging here, right? No, my soul friend, I'm not going to leave you hanging there. And some things I'm going to say today are really obvious, and some are the ones you want to ignore. The obvious ones are just mentioning them in case they ever feel good, and they're the ones that have worked for me. But the real thing that I want to actually bring to the table today is this: make peace with where you actually are, and you will go faster. In this moment, it's actually not a moment to do. And I'm going to tell you the do's. Don't worry, I've got your back. But that's not what this is. This actually isn't a moment to do. This is a moment to surrender and to accept that this is where you are. Because if you show up and you tell yourself the truth and you take that thing that you've been avoiding and you look it dead in the eye and you're looking at it and you're resisting it and you're telling yourself it shouldn't be that way. Okay, nope, I'm not going to get guilty. I'm not going to get shame, but I don't like this. This has to change right now. And you can't actually surrender to where you are. You're going to do all of those 80% of things, those manic, graspy, pushback things that cause this to feel really hard. And if you're anything like me, when you go to do that, the number one thing that's going to actually come up for you is, yeah, but Mandy, if I make peace with where I'm at, I'll never get to where I want to go. How will I get there if I'm like, okay, I'm okay with it being this way? I'm not okay with it being this way. It shouldn't be this way. It should be different. I should have been different. They should have been different. It should have been different. I shouldn't be dealing with this. I already thought I dealt with this. That person's being a jerk. This isn't supposed to be the way. This thing should have already took off. This is what we do. It's like the moment of denial, the most predictable human emotion. So again, we accept the situation, we face it, we tell ourselves, rather, we face it and tell ourselves the truth, but then we don't accept it, which is still denial. It's still being in denial. It's not enough to just tell ourselves the truth. We have to then surrender. And I think my greatest power is my ability to surrender. I literally feel power surging in my veins, and I breathe and I accept what is. I surrender. I literally exhale and let my body will be like this, right up, and I consciously exhale. And this is one of the tricks for my surrendering. I picture that I eat the thing, the situation, and then I swallow it. It's inside of my body. And I'm going to digest it all the way and let it flow down into the earth, right? Let it go back to where it came from. I'm not going to hold it inside of my body, right? If someone didn't trust themselves to process this and they did that, that might not feel good because then it would feel like it's stuck inside of their body. I know I'm going to process this all the way through. So this feels good for me, right? And so it's like a way of saying, like, I know I'm not going to let it sit inside of me. So I'm okay, I'm swallowing the situation. I'm literally energetically swallowing, and I'm not swallowing that what they did is okay, what this thing is that I'm swallowing that it is what it is. I'm not swallowing that it's okay for somebody to be harmful to me. I'm swallowing the fact that they are and that I find myself in relationship with them. I'm not swallowing the fact that, I'm going to be broken in poverty for the rest of my life. I'm swallowing the fact that in this moment, in this day, there's a financial deficit. I'm not swallowing the tension that I'm feeling, the anxiety that I'm feeling, and say, it's okay to always feel anxiety. I'm swallowing the reality of the fact that in this moment, I actually feel anxiety. Yes, #human. I'm accepting that it feels the way it feels to me right now, that it is the way that it is right now, and I'm surrendering to the circumstance. Now, here's a bigger piece of this, right? So first of all, I'm just going to reiterate that. If you surrender to the situation, now it went from outside of you, around you, to you holding it. It's yours now. And now it can begin to dissipate. Now it can be given away. Now it can be understood. Now it can be used for your good. But while you're keeping it on the outside of your energetic field, while you're keeping it outside of you, while you're pushing it away, while you're judging it, arguing it, all the things, it's just controlling you and you can't do anything about it at all. And that's what makes us angry and upset. So actually, this story that we've had, that if I accept this, right, it's not saying, hey, yeah, it's okay that you yell at me. It's okay that you didn't keep your word. We're not saying that. We're saying, oh, this is what it is right now. This is what it is right now. What circumstance do you have in your life right now that you're accepting without judgment and you're surrendering to? Now, I want you to feel the difference because it's really important. Bring up that situation in your mind. I'm telling myself the truth about it. This is what it is. That's what it looks like. That's how I feel about it. That's where I'm at with this. That's where this person is. That's how they behave. That's who they are. That's what they do. That's what it is. You feel that, right? Like I'm actually putting my attention on it, looking at it, telling the truth about it. If you missed yesterday, day 2, we went deep into that. You're going to want to watch that. Okay. It's really important. You feel that? Can you sense that in your body? Can you sense how that feels, right? Like I was like just ignoring it. I wasn't paying attention. I was saying it was something else. I was justifying it. I was something, right? Now I'm looking at it and I'm telling the truth. But then there's a whole bunch of resistance that comes up to it, right? I'm not ignoring it anymore. I'm acknowledging it. And by the way, the most powerful thing that us humans have is our presence. It literally, this, for some people, this might sound like it's out there, but I'm telling you, you can Google it. It's really, really true. Your attention, your literal vision going on to something, your presence to it, your attention to it changes the molecular structure of it. A machine shows what it is. When a human looks at the molecules inside of the machine actually measures how the molecule changes. That's why we can sense when somebody's looking at us. We feel like somebody's looking at us, then we look and nope, there's somebody looking at us, but we could tell without looking, we felt it. There's a power there, an undeniable power. We all know what this feels like. Just sometimes when we start talking about it, our brain starts to melt a little bit. So it's extraordinarily powerful for you to then open your eyes and look at the thing. Now, surrendering is different. It's a different thing to surrender. To surrender is to go, and that's okay. It is what it is, and that's all it is. It is what it is. This is what it is. So in that moment, we surrender to it. Can you feel that? You guys tracking with me? Let me know in the comments. Okay. This is what it is. It's okay. Been through worse, dealt with tougher, have more complicated things than this come up. Okay, so now here's the place where we're going to start. In this place. We're not going to start at the place where it's like manicky, frantic, have to do something about it. We're not playing that game, right? This is not how we roll. We're getting centered and clear. Okay. We have space. There's spaciousness that we're allowed to choose. We're allowed to choose spaciousness. You don't have to immediately analyze and come up with a solution for it just to feel safe. That's what your brain and pattern will tell you to do. That's not real. You don't immediately have to do anything about anything just because you looked. And today might be the day where a good amount of you actually will tell the truth because I'm giving you permission to not have to fix it right away. You don't have to know what to do. You don't have to fix it. There's nothing to fix because it's okay how it is. There's aligned decisions to make. There's clarity to get. There's things to feel and acknowledge. There's words to be expressed. There's communication. There's standards to remember, to hold. But you don't have to do anything. You can just breathe and allow yourself to be present and conscious. Remember what consciousness is, right? Consciousness is, I'm aware of what's happening inside of me. I do not want you making decisions on what's aligned for you to do when you are not aware of what's going on inside of you. This is not the place where we do that. We don't think this because I know you know this, but I'm going to repeat this for your boundary, right? I'm going to repeat this for your pattern. And for those of you, maybe you haven't heard it, this is really important. Your brain's only job is to get you to do whatever you did yesterday and the day before. Your brain's job is to help you to survive. Your brain will never, ever, ever feed you a perception or a belief that's in alignment with thriving. Because that's not its job. Our soul feeds us all the things that support us in thriving. Our brain keeps us alive. So if you've done a lot of work to wire in a lot of patterns and habits that are congruent with thriving, then your brain might give you some nuggets on how to thrive. But if you haven't consistently been having an experience of thriving in that area, the last thing you want to listen to is your monkey brain telling you a whole bunch of crazy things and fears and worries and shoulds and can'ts. And fear is a self-feeding emotion. It will just keep feeding you more things to do so that it feeds itself, so that you will experience more fear, more anxiety, more anger, more whatever the things are. And remember what we said, a sensation is nothing more than a pain is nothing more than sensation in the body. An emotion is nothing more than sensation in the body. It's the fire burning off all that doesn't belong. Here's the moment you get to practice that. Here's the place to practice that. Right here, right after you surrender. And you feel a whole bunch of things in your body. Now, just imagine we've been working together for a year. We've been navigating all these things. You have your clear boundaries. You know who you are. You're crystal clear about your vision for your life. You're living your purpose. You feel aligned with your power. You know how to communicate. You know how to claim what it is that you're desiring in your life, right? And so we've got this here. We've got this wiring inside of your body. We're good here. And now something really difficult happens. And you tell yourself the truth about what it is. And you feel like a big fat failure. You feel like you're really screwed up and you feel like you did a crappy job and it hurts. And you hurt someone that you love and it hurts and it sucks. Because you're human and that's what happens sometimes. And that's what hits you when you feel those feelings, you feel those emotions and it hits you. You surrender to it. Okay. It is what it is. This is what it is. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Do you know what it means? It's an opportunity for me to evolve and become and learn and become savvy and strengthen my resiliency. That's what this is. That's what it means. That's what it actually means. And then you do this thing because you've learned. where you feel all those emotions and you're not attached to them. You just breathe. And do you know this? Tell me this for a second. Really listen to this piece. If you got distracted, come back to me. Ready? In those moments, there's this stuff inside of you. You're angry. That person shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. Why did I do this? Blah, blah, blah. Regret this. This is hard. It's too much. I don't know how. And then there's like this little voice right here. It's like, I can see how this would help me grow. I can see what I did wrong. I can see how I said that thing. I wish I had done that differently, but actually I didn't know how to do it differently just yet. Okay. I know the words to say. I know how to communicate this in a really powerful and healthy way, which we're going to be covering. Okay. And all of that storm was going on inside your body, and you breathed, and it didn't distract you. It didn't knock you off course. It didn't convince you that all those scary stories were right. You just breathed, and it was just a sensation in the body. It didn't mean anything to you other than, this feels very uncomfortable in my body. But it didn't overwhelm you. It didn't overcome you. It didn't knock you off course. And then you got to decide and choose who you decided you were going to be, who you get to be, what words you're going to choose. And so in this place, when we can allow ourselves to start breathing through the emotions and feelings and letting them be what they are, disconnecting from the hype and the over, making such a big deal about every emotion, and, oh, you said this thing and it upset me. So what? But this thing is really scary. If I go on and I do this, so what? You telling me that extraordinary, powerful, brilliant you is going to be held back because somebody upset you, because somebody said some words, because it doesn't feel super like you're amazing yet while you're just starting something? I don't think so. I don't think so. You telling me that your whole day is just going to go all the way off the rails because somebody did something? You telling me that your whole life is going to be anxious about money, money, money. I can't have this. I can't do that. I can't have that. I can't invest. I can't take care of me because you don't know how to breathe through fear. We spend our entire life avoiding feeling. So once we can actually when you don't have to be amazing at it, you don't have to be perfect at it, a 1% shift will take you so far. And you will 100% sure get a 1% shift inside of this course over and over and over again. We're looking for much bigger numbers than that, right? And some of you have booked one-on-one calls. I'm so excited to connect with you. So then here's the thing I want you to pay attention to. That little voice tells us something. Some of you notice it and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you don't notice it yet. It's the wise part of you, the stable, grounded, wise, unscathed by all the crap you've been through part of you that knows exactly who you are, knows exactly what to do, can detach from all the emotional storm that's going on in the body, and can be clear. And you still don't have to rush and go do that thing. You're not expected to live up to that expectation all the time. What I'm saying is it's available to you. How do you navigate this situation? Breathe, surrender, give yourself a minute. Don't impulsively make decisions, react, all of this kind of stuff. You're allowed to take time and space for yourself. Reground, come back home to yourself, and tell yourself the truth about what you need. How do I feel? What do I need? And in this moment, you'll have so much more clarity once you ground and come back home to yourself. And you can get in the habit of not reacting and having to solve and fix everything. And it's like we get in an argument with our lover and then they hurt our feelings. And then we're just so pissed off and we're so angry at them that we're like, that's it. I'm breaking up with you. And then 2 days later, we're like, I love you so much. Because they said sorry. Or we get so mad at our kids and we don't, and then they mouth off and we're like, what? How can you? And they're like, you talk to me like that. We're like, we have guidance. And so in this place, I tell the truth and I stand in it. So I've heard it recalled like before. I made my own version of what this is, but it's called standing in the ish. Neck high, standing in a pile of crap. Like, can't breathe, smells. Can I just stand in it's not really neck high. It's more like every time I picture it around my ankles, like I don't like standing in this, but I'm in the moment of standing in the crap. This is just a moment. It's like when the wave comes in the ocean and it's so beautiful and it's so pretty. And then all of a sudden this huge wave and it's like, and just for a moment, the wave is hitting us. And then all of a sudden we hold on. The wave goes back out to the ocean. It goes back out. But we need to hold on and breathe through the wave crashing. It's not a time to make a bunch of decisions. It's time to breathe. And sometimes it's a minute, sometimes it's a few days, sometimes it's a few weeks, sometimes it's a few months. It is what it is. You'll come. This is where human design comes in really handy, understanding yourself this way. But it takes what it takes for you to come back home to yourself. And there is no rush. Look, we have this whole lifetime. And after this lifetime, our soul is infinite. We got another lifetime and another lifetime and another lifetime. And there's nowhere to get to. There's no place to get to. This is infinite. A brain melting. There's no rush. You don't have to rush. That bad thing you're so scared of happening only happens when you keep ignoring things and lying to yourself. When you're telling yourself the truth, as much as you're able to, you're good. You're safe. There's no rush. So I stand in it and allow myself to stand in it and take the time and space that I need. I remind myself that any sensation in my body is just the fire burning off all that doesn't belong. And then I recognize, what do I need? And this is a real hard question for a lot of people to answer. And I think in particular, I want people to share this video because this is the part where everybody gets stuck right here. People fly through the other parts, but nobody knows what they need. And they get mad at the people around them, or they feel like a victim, or they feel angry, they feel frustrated because they feel like other people should just know. Well, really? Did you explain your standard? Were you crystal clear about your standard and act in alignment with that standard? Because if you didn't, then how would they know? If you treat yourself like crap and you don't take care of yourself, why do you think the people around you are going to take care of yourself? You just showed them how to be taken care of. That don't make any sense. But we don't recognize. What do you need? What skills are missing for you to navigate this? How do you feel? Are you thirsty? Did you not drink water all week? Is your body aching because you're not moving? Do you need to learn how to say no to that person? Do you need to go out with the girls? Have some time? Do you need to go out with the guys and get rowdy? Act stupid? I swear acting stupid is so healthy for men. I really have that intrinsic belief. What do you need? And this is a story I tell, but it's so relevant, right? My first time when a therapist said, it was actually a coach, my very first coach, how do you feel? And I checked, how do I feel? And I thought, I need everybody to shut up and I need a glass of wine. And they were like a little bit appalled and I was confused by that. And they were like, that's not a feeling. And I was like, yeah, it's definitely a feeling. It's definitely a feeling. That is exactly how I feel. What do you need? I need a glass of wine and I need everybody to shut them up. That wasn't a feeling. I had to get really clear how to actually feel myself and then how to get clear, what do I need? And then I had to work through all of the things that made me feel like I wasn't allowed or I didn't deserve to have the things that I actually needed. This is where most of my trainings, most of the teachings and the perceptions that I bring to I'm looking to change how you view something, because if I can help support you in changing a belief and a perception that you have about the thing, your behavior will naturally change. You just like people around me, just like their lives just change magically. And they're like, I don't understand. How do you do that? Because I'm not teaching you something. I'm helping you to find your truth and align to it inside of your body, in the deepest subconscious parts of you. That's what we're doing in this work together. That's my deepest intention, is to take that deep core subconscious part of you that's telling you, well, I need rest, but I can't take it. I have this and this and this. No, because you just made up that story and because your perception is lack and fear and all the things and whatever it is that's causing you to feel like you don't have time to take to rest, then you don't have time to take to rest. And don't tell me I don't understand, because I've been a single mom on welfare, working as a nanny, going to school. I found time to rest. I'd wear a crown and tell my kids, Mama needs a break. Not allowed to talk to me while the crown's on. I would find whatever ways I needed to, because once you believe that it's okay and that there's everything you need and that you're allowed to actually have what you actually need, every single need, desire, and goal is met instantaneously with infinite abundance. Every single need I have, every single desire inside of me, every single goal I set is met instantaneously with infinite abundance. If you believed that was true, what would you do? I asked myself that question, took 2 weeks off of work. Told the team that day, flew myself over to the mountains, the Blue Ridge Mountains, stayed in them, scared the crap out of myself, had no idea it was going to be so far out in the wood, but I took 2 weeks off. That was it. I just took 2 weeks off. Because if that were true, if every need, desire, and goal of mine is met instantaneously with infinite abundance, well, if that was true, well, what if it is true? What if the only reason it hasn't been true was because you refused to challenge the perceptions that you have that make you feel like you never get to have enough of what you need? And you live in, let's see if I can remember the words this time, organized insufficiencies. Building this world of organized insufficiencies. Everything you need is available for you, but you have to choose it. And so we tell ourselves the truth. We breathe and accept and surrender. And then we work our ass off. We work. We work. We work. We work on choosing beliefs that align with who we desire to be. And so the fastest way I've known how to do this is to hire mentors and therapists. Hire mentors, hire therapists. And this is something that I've watched along the way. People would come to me and be like, can I hire you so you can coach me and my husband on, I want our marriage to be better. Come again? You want me to coach you on your marriage, but you just saw me go through a divorce. Do you want me to teach you how to make a lasting marriage? How come you're asking me that? There's that presence again. So as you're asking yourself what you need and giving yourself permission to do that, to reach for the support, the time, the using your resources on you, for what you need, for what expands you, do it wisely, please. Wisely as in, don't just grasp for things. Don't right? Like I'm 0% available for people hiring me in the desperate, you can solve all my problems, I'm looking for a magical pill energy. You can come to me in the energy because I'll help you clean it up real quick, but you are not pushing that send button when you pay, you're not hitting the payment button in that energy. No. That does not do anything for you, right? That's some scarcity crap. We are coming back home to ourselves, remembering who we are, and we are choosing the things that we're giving ourselves permission to do. I get to have this conversation and speak my truth. Why? Because I'm human, because that is an innate right of mine. That is just the way it gets to be. I get to take this time and space that I need for quietness and stillness to reflect on myself and to hear my own inner being. Why? Because that's what you get to have. There is no explanation necessary. That's what you get to have. So tell me in the comments, what have you been telling yourself you don't get to have? What is it? What don't you get? And how do you believe about support? How effortless is it to have support? How effortless is it to be supported? How effortless is it to find spaciousness in your world? How effortless is it for you to have all the things you desire flowing into your world? Money, clients, amazing team, the most extraordinary partner, wisdom, support with your children, support with your purpose work, your mission, your organization. How much do you feel like you're supported and that there's always support around you? That story will tell you a lot. You keep telling the story that you don't get to have it and you won't get to have it. The end. I don't get to have that. And so here's my best trick. Are you ready for this? It's very fancy, but I've been using it for over 12 years. I know that because I did it before I got pregnant with Bailey. And when we're in the place where our thoughts and emotions are so loud, first of all, if you just have tons of anger, frustration, overwhelm, blah, blah, in the body, you need to move. You need to physically move because there's literal energy inside of the body that gets stuck, and we need to move and move and move. And stop giving so much attention, right? We have to, in the moment, remember to stop giving so much attention to the story of I can't, it's not available for me, it's too much, this is too hard. I found myself saying things like, I say this a million times and I'm done saying it. I was just creating more of that, clean that crap up, right? And so in the moment, when I'm being bombarded by that and I can't find my way through it, I sing my ABCs in my head. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, to take care of me, Q, R, S, T, V, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, to take care of me, Q, R, S, T, V, X, Y, Z. And what will happen, I'll just keep singing it and keep singing it and keep singing it until I start to feel whatever that thing was start to go away. And when I can feel it start to go away, when I can feel it start to dissipate, then I go back to what I was thinking about before. Before all that stuff was, okay, breathe, surrender. How do I feel? And I would just negative thoughts that bring me back into the fear. I just don't give them any room. I like suffocate them out. I suffocate them. And this is neuropsychology, right? So your brain can't think of something while your mouth is saying something else. So when I was first starting college and my ADD was crazy, I made sure that I would walk around reading the book. I would just walk around reading it out loud. So my brain had to pay attention to my mouth. So that's one of my tricks to be able to manage really big emotions. It sounds silly, but like, it's honestly, it's supported me through some crazy stuff I've been through. It works, but I was relentless with it, right? Like relentlessly will not give myself permission to think that thought ever again. The end. I'm acknowledging it. I'm not ignoring it and sticking my head in the sand. I'm acknowledging it. I'm telling the truth and I'm choosing something different. The moment I do that, that thought never has any relevance in my world ever again. And in the now, when we hear people talk about living in the now, when we're in the now, nothing can exist except for what you bring to life in this moment. So if I have some trauma story or I have some fear about money, most people are afraid about money and time, right? If I have a fear that like, what if this doesn't work? I'm making this investment and it's not going to work. It's a big thing that people come to me with, right? I want to invest in myself, whether it's starting my company or it's hiring a coach or it's hiring a team member, whatever it is. Like I want to invest in myself, but what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't, right? We get to suffocate out the thoughts that are unhelpful. Yeah, but you did this in the past and Did I do the work to tell the truth about this? Am I being conscious and honest with myself? Am I present to what's happening? Am I clear what I want and where I need to go? Am I clear what my move is? Even though my brain is screaming in my body, am I clear? Then why are we giving room to those thoughts anymore? They have become irrelevant now. And in this moment, I can feel peace, or I can give myself permission to bring back to life some old thing. And now in this moment, it comes back to life and becomes part of my life again. But if I don't let it be present in this moment right now, it is no longer part of my life. No amount of time needs to pass for that to be true. I don't have to wait 6 weeks of not thinking about it before I'm the woman who doesn't think about it anymore. In this moment right now is all there is, because now it feels like now again, doesn't it? Yeah, but it felt like now then, but right now it feels like now, doesn't it? Then we always think in that moment, okay, when I get there on Monday, when I start this, I'm going to do this. We have this illusion in our head that Monday is going to feel easier, but it doesn't. It feels harder. Do you know why? Because that excuse that you gave yourself in order to push it off till Monday just wired it a little bit more in your brain, and now it's even harder. So actually the real truth is every time you push it off and you ignore it and you don't follow through with it, you're wiring your brain to use that excuse again and again and again. You're wiring your brain to actually not do the thing again and again and again, not have the conversation, not follow through, not give yourself permission, not whatever the thing is. That's why that thing you've been ignoring gets harder and harder and harder to acknowledge. So it's today. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. It's not once you this and that. It's not, no. It's today. There is no such thing as later. There's only right now. And if we can't give ourselves permission to do it right now, it's a full-on illusion and delusion that it'll feel easier then. It won't. It feels harder. It's just a hair harder, but it's harder. And you know that because it feels harder already now from all the things that were the things that you told yourself you'd do, but you still haven't done them. And you haven't given yourself permission to tell the truth and to do the thing that you need and to follow up. Because let me just tell you this, when we're doing this, when we're in that moment where we just told the truth and we're trying to acknowledge that to ourselves, right? And we're looking at a situation that we don't know how to deal with, you're going to need some confidence. And do you know where confidence comes from? It's from all the things you do in the background when nobody's watching. It's the things that you're scared to death of and you follow through with it anyway because you know it's a yes inside of your body. It's the times that you just wanted to crawl back in your bed and you didn't want to do the thing and you showed up and you did it anyway because it was aligned with your soul, because it was who you desired to be, because it's who you desire to be. And the number one thing that stops most brilliant entrepreneurs is a story that I already know this. I already know this. I already know this. I already know this. Yeah, you didn't do it. You said that I already know this, but it's not part of your world. It's not, you don't get the reward of the experience of it because it's not part of your world. We got to stop doing that. So here we are in this moment. We've told the truth. We're standing in the crap, feeling our feelings. The wave is hitting us. I don't like standing in the crap. That used to resonate with me. It doesn't anymore. Every time I say it, I'm just like, ugh. No, the wave is crashing, right? The wave from the ocean is crashing. That's the only analogy we're using from now on. The wave is crashing and we're like, it's really loud. I don't know if I'm going to be okay. And if we can just breathe through without manically doing a bunch of things and trying to, do all these drastic things, and we breathe, it goes back out to the ocean and peace and beauty are back, and we make our decision. We get clear what we need. We tell the truth deeper. Whatever the thing is for us, right? And in that moment is when it requires courage, because there might be some missing skills that you have. You might need support on something. You might need a therapist. You might need a coach. You might need to have a talk with your partner. You might need to fire that person on your team. You might need to, whatever the thing is. And right there is where all the stories come in about how you are not worthy to have whatever that thing is that you actually need. And there is what's really happening. That's what's really happening. Can you challenge the story that whatever that thing is you need is not available for you because blah, blah, blah? Because every single person could tell that same story. Slightly different variation of it. We all want to feel like our story is the worst and it's the hardest for us. Tell the truth. Don't freaking deny it. We all have that part of us that we're like, but you don't understand. It was like this. And we feel like nobody understands how hard it was for us, because nobody does, because nobody was you. And it was hard, freaking hard. And sometimes we just want to be validated and we just want to be understood. And we just want someone who gets it. And that's why it's so great to have a community. That's why we come together here, because in large part, all of us know you've been through some crazy stuff. You've walked yourself through. You're a reacher. You're a knowledge seeker. And that's why you're here. And we understand each other on some level. And it feels so good to find each other. But the truth is, nobody will really ever understand what it really took from you. They just understand what it really took for them. And we can see ourselves in each other. And what we're really seeing is that we're seeing that reflection, right? And then we remember that the fire is nothing more than a gift to us, burning off all that doesn't belong there. And we're healing and we're growing from that. It's not something to avoid. And then we have our power move. If we're really being bombarded by the thoughts, we know our power move to block that. I'm telling you, try it. It works. It freaking works. And you got to be committed to it, right? And then releasing the energy if we need to. If you feel just like all this built up energy, do a hard workout. You can literally sit down on the floor and do a 10-minute like ab twist and just like, you can scream in your pillows. You can do whatever you need to do. Move that energy, right? How do I feel? What do I need? And then here is where I would like to bring a lot of value for you guys. Here is where my favorite place to stand with a human being, to begin to challenge the perceptions and belief that you aren't worthy and that there's not enough resources and that it's impossible for you to have what you really desire. And my brother and my sister, I'm going to freaking say this as bluntly as I wish somebody would say it to me back in the day. It's a load of crap. It's not true. It's you. It's lazy thinking. Oh, Mandy, I know. I'm not listening to this anymore. But that's really good news. It's actually really, really good news. If it's me and I'm just keep giving attention to this crappy story that I keep telling myself, there is no opening for anything else. While it might be true in your current reality, because of that's the reality that I created. So it's true for me in this moment, because this is what it's true that I actually don't have the resources that I desire because I've been avoiding doing my whatever thing and avoiding this and not telling the truth about that and choosing these people and staying in this thing and this situation and whatever the stuff is. I haven't learned the skills. I haven't dared to invest in myself. I keep sabotaging. I blah, blah, whatever it is. Okay, it's fine. The circumstance is the circumstance. And that doesn't make it ultimately true. Like in this moment, what's available to me is the only thing that's ever available to me and nothing else is possible. I think you're savvier than that. I think you're a little more relentless than that. I think you're a little more tenacious than that. I think you're a little more clever than that. I think you have more power than you're giving yourself credit for. And it feels really, really good to pretend that you're confused and it's so hard and you don't know how, because then there's no expectations of you. But if you and I are telling each other the truth, there's this lion inside clawing to get out. There's this power just bubbling up inside of you that you just keep suppressing with your crappy stories. There's this fire inside of you that you've been afraid of, that you've been in denial of, that you've been ignoring, that you've been casting off, that you've been playing small with your mouth with. I don't know how, I can't, it's too hard, blah, 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 blah. What if he this, she that, it this, but the world, blah, blah, blah. COVID, all the things. If you say so. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. If you say so, so it is. And our real work together, the rest is like, I got to feel this. I got to give myself, I got to be willing, right? Be willing to feel this. I got to be willing to see this and look at it. But that stuff you can do. We're here together and it makes it easier knowing that there's other people doing this work too. But that part you can do. This part right here, we can't do alone. We need support to do this. And so whether it's watching YouTube videos and going on and on, whether it's being on trainings like this, whether it's hiring someone, it doesn't matter. A good therapist will help you rewire the stuff in your brain. A good coach will hone right in on those key like patterns that are just causing an absolute ruckus and rewire them deep in the subconscious and align the subconscious, the conscious, and the super conscious, and just my passion, my purpose, my mission work, what I'm here, what I'm meant to do, my feeling, my vision of myself and my core and who I desire to be, my values and what matters to me, and my deep core beliefs in my subconscious, born in my childhood, born in the imprinting that's happened on this planet. And those three need to come into alignment. And this is the work, and it's okay. And there's no rush. Nothing's bad's going to happen because you don't figure it out right now. You're good. It's okay. You can breathe. Breathe, relax, enjoy this ride. This is one magical freaking life. Like, this is one crazy magical life that you get to be you with all your quirks and your personalities and the way you view things and the smell of flowers and art that inspires us and music and songs that we sing at the top of our lungs and we repeat over and over and over. And we just want to hear 700 times and we make ourselves cry and we find love and first kiss and we have babies and we do all the things and food that tastes so good and sounds of ocean and dolphins and birds and chirpings and all the things. And you feel that it could be so big and so hard and so impossible. And so I literally have no idea how to deal with this. And I feel suffocated and trapped, and life is still magical because it's okay. I'm going to learn how to navigate this. I'm going to find someone who can support me in having this conversation. I'm going to start learning. And this is one of the biggest things that I wanted to support people in being able to do is know where you are. Right? Like in the Lemillion, we do weekly Q&A inside of there. We have a running feed with hundreds of questions. And so every single week I do a Q&A inside of there. And I can tell the people who are showing up and doing the work and are tracking where they are because their questions tell me that. And I can tell the people who are just kind of throwing a question out in the air because they feel like, I don't understand any of this and I need somebody to save me. And I love both questions because I can tell where people need when they are in that place of needing to be rescued. That's okay. We're allowed to be there. That's not a problem. And I'm moving them towards the place where they're able to track with themselves. And so tracking is a really big part of being able to do this work right here. Tracking with yourself means you're conscious of what's going on inside of you and what you need and what you're feeling. You're able to do that. And That's required for thriving. Let me say this one more time. The ability to be able to track with yourself and be aware of what you're thinking, feeling, and needing, what you're choosing, what thoughts you're choosing, what perceptions you're choosing is required for thriving. So if it feels like no big deal that can't really put your finger on how you feel, and you aren't aware of the perceptions that are kicking your butt, and you're spending zero time rewiring those and choosing different perceptions, getting in the rooms with people, getting around people, choosing friends that have perceptions that create magical lives for them, that create success, that create connection and warmth and impact and whatever the things are that you desire, freedom. If you're not around people doing that, then your perceptions are going to be the same old, same old. You're just going to keep telling yourself the same thing over and over and over. And every day it's going to feel like the same thing and the same thing and the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. And this is what I want to say. You are what matters. It was you that always mattered. It doesn't matter how fast you're doing this, how rapidly you get it done. There's no rush. It's infinite available for you. Every single need, desire, and goal is met instantaneously with infinite abundance that's available for you. There's more. There's more. It's available. But there's no rush, and nothing's wrong, and everything's okay, and it's all okay the way that it is. And we surrender to that and let it be what it is while we get really clear what we're reaching for, what we're doing, what we want. When you choose something that expands you, that's why you're choosing it, because it was you that mattered. The question isn't, should I purchase this because da-da-da, and what if I don't, what if I can't? The question is, does this expand me? Because it was you that always mattered. It was always about you. It's you. You matter. Your expansion matters. Your growth matters. Your joy matters. Your desires matter. Your needs matter. Your feelings matter. How something lands with you, how something fits for you, how something is matters. You matter. It was always about you. It was always you. And the goal is for you to move steadily towards who you desire to be. And if you don't know what that looks like, do the work. This is the work that we cannot skip. And we feel this. Are you guys tracking with me? All this mature stuff. That's how it felt for me. Does anybody else feel that? This all feels very mature. It doesn't mean that we're not going to feel passion and rage. And of course, we're going to feel them. That's the whole point. That we're going to be human and we're going to feel the things. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there is no rush. And it's time for you to enjoy this mother-loving ride while you reach for the stars and while you get to challenge all of these old things that stop you from experiencing all of your magic and all of the extraordinary things life is trying to bring to the table for you on a golden platter, just trying to give to you, like, here, look at how this. And you're just like, I can't, I'm not worthy. I'm sorry, I can't have that. How does it feel when you give a gift to someone? I did a really bad job on not making this an hour, so I should just never say that again, because my body is like sort of wired to take up an hour. Is what it is. When you give a gift to someone and they're like, oh no, I can't. And you were so excited and you thought it all out and you tried to get the perfect gift and you gave it to them, like, oh, I can't accept this. Or like, oh no. Or you're like, let me pay for dinner. And they're like, no. Like, it doesn't feel good when someone can't receive from you. When you give someone a compliment and they're like, oh no. But when you say, oh, you look so beautiful. That dress is beautiful. And someone's like, oh, thank you. That feels so good. How does it feel to tell someone how grateful you are? And they're like, oh, I'm so happy you got that experience. This feels so good. Better. Feels good. When someone's like, oh no, it wasn't me. And I don't know. And this whole thing. It's like, just kind of, you are what matters. And this work is the work. So I need you to tell the truth about what you need. What do you need? Can you tell the truth? And can you begin to challenge those old stories about your worthiness and about lack? Yeah, I get it. While you kept choosing those stories, you created an experience where it's true. Okay, but since you created that, that means you can create something different. Because you're the creator. And nothing can exist in now, right now, in this moment, except for what you actually bring to life in this moment right now. You're the creator. And life takes some kahunas. Like to really live, it takes courage. Like to really live, to enjoy the experience of being a human. What's the point if we're not enjoying it? What is the point? What's the point? What's the point of working so hard to be a good parent and make all the money and do all the things if we're not actually really enjoying life all the time? Like enjoying the pain, enjoying the joy, enjoying the wins, enjoying the failure, like all the time. Why would we just be like, I'm enjoying life, but I'm enjoying life only from like 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night to 10 o'clock at night, or only after the kids go to bed from 8 to 10 p.m. What's the point? I'm sending you love, Ruthie. Okay. Your homework is to be aware of where you are in this process. And to at least come up with one perception, one belief that you remember. A belief is only something you've told yourself over and over and over. Your job is to come up and to become aware of at least one belief that you are telling yourself in the moment when you're getting hit by the wave. Either in the moment when you feel like you can't accept it because why? Or, okay, I surrender to it and this is how I feel, this is what I need, but I can't have it because why? That pain that we feel when we finally tell the truth about what we desire, and then 2 seconds later we say, but I can't have it. Your creation. The but I can't have it is your creation. Your creation, your responsibility, your move, right? Okay. I feel like we're all clear on this. This is good stuff. This creates a magical life. It changes, moves the needle huge, big. We can become conscious. We can become present. It's a process. Everybody's at a different place. We're at where we're at. It's all perfect. Absolutely perfect. We're all literally the exact same. Literally stardust. We're all the exact same. We're all a spark of the divine. And we're all just at different places of all different things in our life, but we're all exactly the same. All of us are experiencing almost exactly the same things in different forms. And we're all walking through this, walking each other home. And so we're going to do this together, and you're not alone. And it's important that you do this work. Do not ignore this, okay? Come back, watch it as many times as you want. Find a partner to do it with, whatever feels good for you. But we're doing this. Oh, we're doing this. And we're going hard all year. So this is like your warm-up. Good? Okay. I love you guys. Let me know what comes up for you. Come back and comment and let me know anything. Or if you're not part of it, the free Facebook group, people are starting to share inside of the Facebook group. It's called Mandy's Inner Circle. So you go to the search bar, type Mandy's Inner Circle, hit the groups button. You'll see it. Just request to come in there and I'll add you in there. I'm claiming your magical life with you too, my little diamond Victoria. Okay. I love you guys. Have an extraordinary day. We will be back tomorrow for day 4 at 1 p.m. Eastern here on the business page, which is at Mandy Perry Inc. Okay. I love you guys.